Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Planet Coaster, brought to you in the late night. If you're watching this when it first came up, if you got those notifications on, then you are seeing this probably later at night, because it's been one heck of a day at the B-Dubs household. Babies crying, screaming, yelling at the top of their lungs, unruly children. I tell you, slow me down. I'm a very busy man. Got a big job to do in this park. Look at this line. Oh, look at the lines. Very nice and long. Look at the priority pass line. Something happened. Hey, things are good. Things are very nice. Look at how nice this is. It's full. Oh, because of priority pass? Oh. What? Last month's profit. What? Why? What? $516. What? Hey, where's all my money I made? The ride's stuck. And close it and open it. That ought to do it. Freak everybody out. But looks like the ride was broken. Hopefully this one's not broken. I've noticed that happen from time to time. Some of these rides will break. And not like a guy's got to come and fix it break, or that's what it was that one time that I saw it. A guy needed to come and fix it, but he was just standing outside for several minutes of just regular in-game time, would never go in, and the line was just stuck. Let's make sure everybody goes on here. That's very, very important, but we're doing something very cool today. Doing something I've been wanting to do for quite a long time. Everybody go on. I think we should be good. That's a good amount of profit. Okay, that's good. And people are getting in line here. The ride is running. That's good. Okay. We're doing better. All right. But yeah, I need to check them from time to time. Look what I did. Look what B-Dubs did. Made a little waterfall thing on both sides for this entrance. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. So I did that. In my off time. Obviously nothing going on here because this ride is closed. Well, the little thing is closed. But I think we're looking pretty good. Looking pretty good overall. I'm going to pause the game, though, because there's something very important I'd like to do. And I want to do this before I get too much further into the park. We're going to start putting buildings in and decorating. And one of the biggest parts of the decorating process for me is the foliage, the trees and all that stuff. And that can be very time consuming, going in and picking your brushes and whatnot. Luckily, they have, oh, it's not here. What? Why are you not here? Well, there's usually some nature brushes. Maybe I haven't unlocked them here. Usually some, no, I've used them before. What is there? Why not show? That's weird. Oh, no. I'm sorry. It's under blueprints, scenery here. So there's a couple of brushes. There's like this, there's this, and there's this, and this, right? But I want to make some more kind of extensive brushes. Brushes that are going to be a little more beneficial for us. We'll move this over here. You want trash? You're going to put it in the right place. We're going to put that over there. And I'm going to work on making these tree brushes. It's something that I have been wanting to do for quite a long time. And I want to make it available to you guys as well. So let's select that grid. I'm going to block out a place for myself that's going to be 3 by 3. That's not 3. There we go. Okay, that's a little 3 by 3 block right there. And I'm going to fill this in with a tree brush. I might do one that's a couple that are smaller, maybe a couple that are bigger, but I'm going to get to work on those right now. Alrighty, so I think we did something pretty good here. I think it's in good shape. The last one I did was the big 5x5 tree brush, and there are some categories I left out, like snowy areas, which might be in kind of high demand right now, but that's kind of not on my radar at the moment. I just needed to make stuff that I could use throughout the park and use it in a good way to where I could kind of blend everything together and make it look good. So, it's kind of is a little bit of a difficult process. I didn't really include like I didn't go through and say, okay, what is going to be from what area, mixed selection. Okay, delete. Okay, delete. I didn't say like, okay, this is from this region, this is from this region. I just basically went for what could potentially look good together. And I think we got some good stuff. They look pretty good. Let's see if we can't lay them out here off in the distance. We got quite an area to work with. So tree brush 1 is this guy here. And they're all in square shapes, but they work pretty well. And you're going to have to, I lowered a lot of the bushes and stuff, so you're going to have to come in and lower it a little bit. Costs quite a bit of money. This is going to be an expensive showcase here. Tree brush 2, got some roses in there. I think looks pretty nice. But just lower that down to about there. You can see all the roots are down. I did include a little dead tree in that one, so that's nice. Tree brush 3, this one's got some... Oh yeah, these are very sunken in. Tree brush 3 has some pine trees and stuff in it, which I think looks pretty good. Just getting a little bit of a mixture, Here's 4, and this is more pine trees. Here's 5, and this is when we went down to the 2x2 size. So these are for little smaller areas if you need to tuck some trees into some little nooks and crannies. Here's a one for... Oh, that's not a good placement. These are supposed to be underground. So let's get this back here and make sure those are there. There we go. That looks good. Oh, this is going to be so useful. I can't tell you. I think this is a... No, this is a... I think this is a 3x3? Maybe this is a 4x4. Oh, yeah, this looks like a 4x4. Okay, so this is a little bit bigger one. I think that's the right height. An 8. This is more for your alpine type areas right there. That's a bad placement. Let's get that right. Get that to where those little twig things are underground a little bit. And I included some dead trees here because, you mainly want evergreens. I put these trees in as if the leaves are kind of falling off them. And then this is the biggest one. This is the 5x5. It's pretty huge, but I think it looks pretty nice. So there's our entire tree brush selection. And really, you can just mix all of these together to create something that really looks like just a natural forest, So I think it's good. For this area, I think we're going to use a lot of these guys because, as you can see, we've got tons and tons of pine trees out here. So that's going to be important. I think for our case, let's just say, okay, we've got an area right here and we want to put some... Let's try to put these into action here. I should name these... I named it Tree Brush 3, but I should say like 2x2, So if we put that in there, bring this down a little bit. Let's go down so we can look and see the height we need to be at. That looks good, like everything is underground there. No, not yet. Keep going. Something like that, and then that tree's gonna kind of be in the way, but that's okay. There we go. And that place is decorated in a custom way, So I think it's going to be very nice. I added a lot of like tilt and lean to the trees as well, so they're not like perfectly straight. I think this is going to be very, very useful for us, especially as we move on. The really nice thing too that it does is it tells you, like this bench that I made last time. It said this is $39 bench. I wanted to compare that to the actual in-game bench. $10. Okay, so it's a little more expensive, but you know, with this, it just goes through and it tells you, you know, the actual price you're going to pay. For the biggest one, $302. I think that's a pretty good freaking bargain to get a nice, beautiful, huge amount of trees in somewhere. Don't you? I think it's nice. So anyway, I'm going to put those up on the workshop. You might want to just go to my workshop profile. I don't think I'm going to link every single one of these. I might just link one and then you can click on it and see all of them. But yeah, I think that's how we're going to go about doing this, because I've got a lot more stuff on the Steam Workshop too that you can kind of check out and get. But I think this tree brush is going to be extremely useful for us in the future. So now that we have that completed and that ready for us, I want to hopefully get something accomplished today that I've been wanting to get accomplished for quite some time. Let's crank that to 83 intensity. And let's look at these terrain brushes. Okay, so there's that guy, and then this is the rocky one. Okay, good to know, good to know. Boy, that's a little darker than I thought it would be. Okay, I'm just trying to work. I placed these rocks in here, and I'm trying to work on this transition. I'd like this transition to be a little bit smoother. I want the rocks to kind of end up blending in with the terrain, but that is kind of on the light side. Yeah, if we go like that and go with the regular one, that's good. So let's roughen this up a little bit then. Roughen. It's actually like smoothing it. It's not doing a very good job, actually. Not loving it. If we go to 100 intensity, I think, you know, the smaller the brush is, the more intense. Ooh, that's kind of nasty. Okay. Maybe if we just make a very big brush. Okay, that's not bad. We just want to kind of smooth that transition out a little bit. And if we roughen this up and then come in with this paint here. Yeah, I think we got something going now. And then come in with this and we'll lower the opacity and the size a little bit. And then that might help us with that transition, making it look a little bit more natural, and it does. It definitely looks like that flows a little better. So that's good. That's good. That's good to see. It's really nice too, because that brush has a little bump map in it too, which is cool. I'm not sure how I want to do this building. I don't have all the ideas together just yet, but we're going to give it a shot anyway. I want to start out with, you know what? We'll go classic brick. Let's look at our brick options. I think classic brick will be the best. Modern rough brick, that could be good. Rough brick looks about like that. That's kind of nice. Okay, snapping on. Let's kick it that way. And if we put the building like here, that could be good. And I almost want it to be right about there. Yes, that's good. At that height. Could that be good? Yeah, that looks good right there. This is a foundation here. So if we come out to about here, then I think we're going to be good. And because I put it on the 45, it should run straight with all this stuff, or perpendicular, I should say. All right, put that one there, that one there. Something else I've learned, let's put that there, and then one there, is that if you don't have the auto stacking on, placements can be a lot easier, actually. Right there, and ooh, it turned there. That's good. And then we'll kick this to the side. And stack that on that and bring one up here. Now the game plan is going to be to separate this section here from the building. Let's see if we can do that right now, okay? I don't know. I always... See, that's a little bit frustrating. I'm sure there's a way. I think there's a way to use that selection tool while you're in the building, but every time I grab it, it kind of freaks out a little bit. Selection tool? No. Selection tool? No. So if you know how to do that, let me know. I'd very much appreciate it. I'd be indebted to you forever. So I kind of want to see what this would look like. If we split this selection from the building, it is its own building now. And if I move it and hit the rotate with the angle snapping on 45 degrees, we should be able to kick it like that on the angle, bring it back, and try to meet this up perfectly on this corner. And then we could get kind of a cool looking little interesting building here. Gotta come back a little bit. Perfect. I think that's perfect right there. That's not bad. And then, is it possible to combine these two buildings now into one? Doesn't look like I could make a blueprint out of it. But that's not exactly where I want that building to be, I don't think. I think I want it to come out a little bit more. So let's grab it, hit X, bring it out to about where we want it. Maybe here. Maybe right there is good. Okay. And then we can grab this building and meet them up in the middle. Yeah, this is going to work out nice. Okay. So it's a little bit of an interesting tactic. It's going to make things a little more difficult as far as like making roofs and all that stuff. But overall, a beneficial move, I think. Okay, how's that crack looking in there? It looks a little bit like a gap. That's about perfect right there. Beautiful. Okay. So we'll duplicate that and bring it down so that's all covered. Good. So that's how our first building is going to look here from the ground level. And I think that's cool. That's going to add just a little bit of extra detail. So I'm going to get to work on just getting kind of a building structure together. And I want to show you kind of my game plan for how we're going to do the buildings in this park. Okay, so this is pretty simple, but it gets us started on the idea so we can kind of get a general feel for how things are going to be. But here's a good look at how this roof is going to be kind of difficult on us. Might be best to put like a tower right here to kind of ease this transition. It's not playing very nice. These slopes are a little different, so making that 45-degree turn, that ain't easy, but we can work it out. We'll get it all worked out in time. But yeah, this is kind of what I'm feeling. Not decorated. I just wanted to get the piece in there, you know, so we could get a feel. And that's definitely a nice, cozy way to enter into this thing. But what I want to do for the back of the buildings, and you see this quite a lot in the Planet Coaster community, but it's something that I've never really done myself. Ooh, we're kind of blocking this. Maybe we wrap it around and put a stairway right here? Maybe. But that's low. Yeah, we might be able to integrate this into it though. Possibly. Let's see if we remove this. Oh yeah, that's low. And we might be able to work something out. I'll see. We might change the facade there. But facade, perfect word, because that's exactly what these buildings are going to be. Facades. And that's kind of a thing with a lot of parks in the real world. It's you have kind of a facade on the front, and then on the back side it's kind of just plain. And I think that why I want to do that, are these panels any cheaper? $10 still, but That's okay. Oh, it's gonna make me lose it. I had my thing and then I lost it. I think these will still look good. Is this the panel? No. Let's just type in panel. This is going to be very, very beneficial because if we do something like, let's bring this up, and yeah, right there is fine. And we'll turn auto stacking on. Good. We'd figure out how to do that transition. But if we just brought this back to here and whoops, not there, and just square this off on the back side, it looks very plain, but that is to a huge benefit for us. And then you basically pick a point where you'd say, okay, this is the roof, and we go flat roof and pop this in like here, right? Turn auto stacking off because it's freaking out. There we go. And it'd just be a flat roof on top. And you figure out how to tie it in so where people can't see this, right? I think that's going to make our lives 100 times easier. Now, you're thinking to yourself, wow, you're really going to destroy the aesthetic of your park by doing that. But here is why today we did the tree brush. Because if we come in and let's just pop this like here, bring it down. I know we got that path, but I'm just doing this for an example, right? And then once we place these, if we feel like some things are not needed, it's very easy just to delete what you don't need. But yeah, so we will surround the things that kind of look bad like this with trees. And that'll kind of just cover up. I think they call it like a backstage area. That's kind of, yeah, I think that's what they call it. But let's just, for example, let's put one here, put one like here, and then you won't even see it. So you get this nice benefit of having like foliage, a nice amount of foliage and stuff, and you still get your beautiful facades. But if I were to go around and detail this whole front piece and then have to do a side and then have to do a back and then another side, it quadruples the amount of time that I need to spend on these buildings, which would make this park and my plan for this park virtually impossible. So this tree brush is going to come in very handy as far as covering up our areas, our backstage areas, and making it just kind of blend in a little nicer. So I think that's going to be really good. The game plan, obviously, like this coaster will most likely be moving. All of this garbage, if you're here for the first time, just so you know, all of this stuff is just so I can get my money rolling. So I don't have to just sit around and wait for cash to be brought in. But yeah, all this is going to be gone eventually, and we're going to have some really beautiful Main Street action going on here, and then a nice little thing going here as well. So anyway, I think that's going to do it for this episode of Planet Coaster. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave me a like on it. I'd very much appreciate it. If you use these tree brushes in your world, send me some pictures. I'd love to see how you guys use them, or if you make any changes to them, I'd love to see that too. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Life ain't a ding-dong. If I could take you up and boom, 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 tell me I'm the only one that you love. Life could be a dream, sweetheart.